A lot of people think the only way to reverse insulin resistance is to starve yourself, cut out all carbs, or do something extreme. But here's the truth. You can reverse insulin resistance without starving, suffering, or being extreme. In fact, most people stay stuck because they've been told to do the wrong things. Today, I'm going to show you a realistic, sustainable approach to reversing insulin resistance. And the number one thing that fixes it is not what you think. I'm Dr. Kabir Harricharan Singh, a physician focused on prevention, longevity, and metabolic optimization. On another note, even though I'm a doctor, I'm not your doctor. So please reach out to your healthcare provider before making any changes to your healthcare regimen, because this video is meant only to be educational and not medical advice. And I want to start by reframing something huge. Insulin resistance isn't a diabetes problem, it's a metabolic energy problem. When your cells stop responding to insulin, your pancreas goes into overdrive. It pumps out more and more insulin to force energy into your cells, and as insulin rises, your energy drops, your hunger increases, and your metabolism slows. Eventually, your blood sugar rises, not because diabetes suddenly appeared, but because your body has been fighting and failing for years. The good news, since it starts early, we can fix it early. Now, here's where things go wrong. Most people think reversing insulin resistance requires not eating, never touching carbs, skipping breakfast, over-exercising, and living in constant hunger. But these approaches fail fast because they create stress, cortisol spikes, muscle loss, rebound cravings, and total burnout. In other words, they're not sustainable. Here's the part most people never hear. Reversing insulin resistance isn't about starvation. It's about restoring metabolic flexibility, your body's ability to switch between different fuel sources for energy. When your metabolism becomes flexible again, cravings decrease, energy increases, blood sugar stabilizes, insulin drops, and weight regulation becomes effortless. So let's break down my 4 pillars for reversing insulin resistance without starving. Pillar number 1, build your muscle. If you want to reverse insulin resistance, studies show you cannot starve your way there, but you can lift your way there. Muscle is the greatest glucose disposal system in the human body, and the more muscle you have, the better your insulin sensitivity, which means lower insulin levels. So strength training is the closest thing we have to a metabolic cheat code. Pillar number 2. Walk 10 minutes after meals. This one is shockingly effective because 10 minutes of walking after each meal lowers blood sugar, insulin levels, and improves metabolic flexibility. This single habit can outperform medication for some people, and it takes less time than scrolling social media. Pillar number 3. Adopt a protein-forward eating plan. You don't need restrictive dieting, you need strategic eating. Protein-centered meals help because protein blunts blood sugar spikes, stabilizes insulin, improves satiety, preserves muscle, and reduces cravings. Carbs aren't the enemy. Unbalanced meals are. Here's the order I recommend for blunting blood sugar spikes with your food. First protein, then fiber, healthy fat, then carb. An example of this would be chicken, then salad, avocado, and rice. Now, if you want dessert, I recommend eating it after protein and fiber. Pillar number 4, fix your sleep and stress. This might be the most underrated step. You can eat perfectly and still have insulin resistance if your sleep is poor or your stress is high, because lack of sleep raises cortisol, cortisol raises glucose, and glucose raises insulin. If you're sleeping 5 hours or less, you've already created insulin resistance, no matter what type of diet you're on. Now, here's where most people go wrong. They try to fix everything at once. But sustainable transformation requires appropriate sequencing. So here's the order I recommend. First, fix sleep, then work on protein, start walking, begin strength training, and only then consider adjusting carbohydrates. Because when you master steps 1 through 4, 90% of people don't need drastic carb restriction. Now, at this point, you may be wondering, how do I even know if I have insulin resistance? Great question. The tests I recommend for early detection are fasting insulin, C-peptide, oral glucose tolerance test with an insulin curve, and lipoprotein insulin resistance score. If you want a deeper breakdown of what these tests mean and why they matter, please check out my other videos. If this video spoke to you, or if you're tired of feeling like your body's working against you, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content on metabolic health, longevity, and a prevention-first approach to health. You deserve a body that works for you, not against you. I'll see you in the next video.